Hi, this is Andrea from Sony Frumos, and today I want to talk about something that's very intriguing but also very scary. Every couple of years there's a new hype on the web and on the media. The last hype I remember was the one about crypto and that about NFT technology, and you know how it ended. And nowadays, in the past weeks, what we're hearing a lot is about the new AI tools. Not only about the ChatGPT AI tools, but also the AI tools that can create images and photos. And so I jumped into it like everybody else to see what's the potential, what are the risks. And past days, I even posted some of those images on my private Instagram channel and on Facebook, and the reaction was quite surprising. There was a group that really liked what they saw, but there were also really many people that were angry at me because I posted those kind of images. Some of them saying like, you're killing our industry, you're killing art, and so forth. So today I want to talk about this, about what I personally found intriguing about all the tech, what are the risks, and what I'm really afraid about. I want to walk you through some of the images I created as a complete noob. My first approach was to start with just an object. I started with the Sony A1. And I wanted to see how I can modify that object and how well AI does it, and if it's something also that has a certain kind of quality. So we'll now walk you through some of those images. It took me like a couple of seconds to create them on one of the AI tools. And the first image you see is this one. It's a glam metal Sony A1. All I did was just to write the name Sony A1 and then add glam metal as a texture, and it created this, and it's actually quite impressive to see what kind of detail and the lightning. It was a surprise to see that kind of quality. I also created a Sony A1 heavy armored version, and it looks like this. You see a desert. I didn't add the desert. That's AI just picking up random images from the web, merging it and creating that kind of scenery. It's very important to know that if you want to change that, have it, for example, in an ocean or whatever, you can do that. So you can really start simple by saying Sony A1 heavy armored on the desert, but then you can go Sony A1 heavy armored on the ocean, floating on a boat with the lighting, with sunset light and a small candle light nearby. You can write whole long text to describe the scene, and it will try to get the image you want. This is a Sony designed by Louis Vuitton, so a luxury kind of Sony. Here's a Sony A1 as a Louis Vuitton object. Here is a Pixar version of Sony. Probably Sony haters will use it to say like, you see how toyish the Sony cameras are. Here I created a perfume bottle in the shape of the Sony A1, and I also asked the AI to add a fluid that you can see moving inside, and it did it pretty well. And moving further, here you see another luxury gold emerald finish of the Sony A1. And as a last example on the Sony A1, here you see the Sony A1 made of chocolate that is melting, and this is actually also a very super realistic picture. So I showed you a couple of examples of how I started by using an object like a camera, and what I learned is that it's actually scary because if you imagine all the product photographers that take a lot of time to set up a light and to create some interesting object, you can do that in 2 seconds. Of course, if you have a controlled environment, you can get that. You will always manage to get a better picture if you have the skills, because AI is just trying to interpret what you want. It will never give you exactly what you want. Still, the potential of AI is also to create stuff that you didn't even think about you could do, and it can give you quite some exciting ideas about what kind of photography you might can do without having even thought about doing it. And like this example of the melting chocolate, image quality is super, the light is really impressive. But then I did go a step further and ask myself, can it do real photography? You know, one thing is object like a melting sunny A1 chocolate, but one is give me a real, make me a real portrait or landscape image. And here the picture is a bit more complex. I will walk you through a couple of examples that I created yesterday in 1 hour. Okay, so it was really easy job to do that. And it might be even possible to make those pictures way better if you have the skills to describe the image in a more professional way. So an example here is a macro image of a snowflake. I posted this on my private Facebook page just to see what the reaction would be without saying that it is AI, otherwise people would dismiss it or take it negatively. So I faked it for, for my scientific purposes. I said like, I took these images with a Sony camera. I then warned afterwards the people it was a fake image. But this is a snowflake, and actually it's pretty cool image. It's not 100% perfect. You probably, if you look at it closely, you can understand it's too perfect to be real. But nobody of the people who saw the images without knowing that it was from AI actually noticed that it was fake. Everyone was actually asking, how did you take that image? It's gorgeous, it's fantastic. And that's scary. I know photographers will hate this fact, but you can fool people that this is a real picture. Let's move on. Okay, this of course, here you understand it's not a real image, but I tried to blend an image of a bedroom with a wave from the ocean. It's super cool. You can use it, but of course in that case my purpose was not to create a real image, but just to create an image I couldn't take as a normal photographer. You don't have waves in a bedroom, but it's nice to see you can do that with AI. Here I took a real image from the Dolomites mountain. I asked to make an Art Nouveau version with a couple of modifications. Could be a news for us photographers that if you have a real image, you can make like a poster version of it to sell. Could be a business idea. This is a funny picture. I asked AI to show me a portrait of a man with gold lederhosen, but you can see it's not perfect. You can see some distortion on the elbow, on the eyes, a bit on the hair. So there you can really see AI isn't really working well when it comes to ultra realistic fine details of a human being. And I tried it a couple of times. You always see some kind of distortions, so that's good news for analog photographers like me. A real portrait of a person, for now it's difficult that AI can match it. Maybe we'll do it in the future, but for now I always found some kind of issues. You have to probably correct them in Photoshop to hide them, and maybe it gets better, but this is it for now. Then I asked AI to make a portrait of an old supermodel with low-key lighting, and it created this. You can see, of course, that it's somehow not a super realistic image, but it's stunning that it was able to do that. Again, detail and light and colors are nice, but it's still, what it misses is still that very extreme realistic flair that makes you notice that this is likely not a real image. But I may get there. I will still have to learn. This is a work I did. I'm just learning. It's a couple of days I'm using it, and probably the AI will get better, and maybe I will get better in the description to create more real images. So this is impressive. You can also create images that would be hard to make as a real photographer, like a boy on a dog, riding a dog. It's not something that you can easily do as one photographer. You can do it with AI. Here I asked the AI to create a woman with body covered in shiny golden microdot stars. First I said wow, then again if you look at the detail on the face, around the ear and the mouth, you can see it's not really working super well, but still it's impressive how it add the microdot stars on the body, like on the neck. It really looks very well done. It really takes into account the perspective, the out of focus. It makes the dots bigger where they are closer to the fake AI photographer and smaller when it's more distant. So it's a real impressive tool. If you think I should dig into more, if you want me to get into the detail how I took those single images, I can make some kind of tutorials, some easy tutorials. If you want me to do that, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, send me your comments, your critics, your positive critics. Let me understand what you want me to do to make it more interesting for you. So please stay tuned, hit subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, and as soon as I can I will post new videos and dig deeper into all those AI tools so that you also can use it, you also can learn from it, and we might understand better beyond the hype what's the real value of those tools. Okay, see you soon, bye.